This is the Washington Times front page for Tuesday, October 26th, 2021. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. President Biden visited Democratic strongholds in New Jersey with hopes to breathe life into his Build Back Better agenda and the re-election bid of Governor Phil Murphy, who's clinging to a solid but dwindling lead. Tom Howell and Seth McLaughlin report from New Jersey, where Democrats haven't lost a gubernatorial re-election campaign since 1977. Still, many view the race as Murphy's to lose, as Jack Ciattarelli, a former state assemblyman, tries to catch up to the only incumbent governor on a ballot nationwide this year. Murphy must turn out voters in solidly blue areas near New York City to maintain an edge over Ciattarelli. The incumbent's advantage has shrunk from double digits to 6 percentage points in polls, while Washington Democrats dither over an infrastructure package and social spending plans. Former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers says the Federal Reserve and other central banks are too focused on social issues and aren't paying enough attention to inflation. Dave Boyer reports Summers, who was speaking at a virtual conference, says central bankers are defining themselves by how socially concerned they are. He believes the U.S. is in more danger of losing control of inflation at any other point in his career. Senate Republicans are trying to prevent Democrats from pressuring the Fed to install regional directors who would devote some of their duties to climate change and racial equity. The Republicans describe the move as a dangerous case of mission creep from the central bank's traditional role of ensuring maximum employment and price stability. In Sudan, troops have arrested their nation's prime minister and other political leaders in a military coup, derailing the country's move toward a civilian democratic government and sparking fears of even more chaos. Ben Wolfgang reports military leaders quickly moved to consolidate as much power as possible and announced that a long-awaited handoff from a transitional body to a permanent civilian-led government would be put on hold. The U.S. Embassy in Sudan warned Americans to shelter in place as Sudanese forces reportedly blocked roads in and around the capital of Khartoum. The coup threatens to crush hopes for democracy 2 years after popular protests drove longtime dictator Omar Bashir from power. The civilian leaders of the revolution and the old guard military had been in an uneasy alliance, promising to transition to a fully civilian-controlled democracy. A reminder that you can find all these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. Don't have access to the Times yet? Visit WashingtonTimes.com/George and get 25% off your annual subscription. Our Stephen Dinan talked with a rancher on the southern U.S. border who says President Biden's decision to halt wall construction has left parts of Arizona so dangerous that the U.S. Forest Service has banned its employees from going there. The Forest Service, citing an ongoing court case, declined to comment on the claim. A spokeswoman insisted the agency is working with several local and federal agencies to ensure the safety of the public and employees as we accomplish work to support healthy, resilient landscapes. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas signaled early this year that construction could be restarted to fill gaps in the wall, but he seems to have soured on the idea. Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich argues the increase in traffic is tied to the halting construction and has resulted in illegal immigrants trampling upon wilderness. And finally, the 2021 World Series is set to kick off with the Houston Astros taking on the Atlanta Braves. Valerie Richardson reports the Astros are back in the Fall Classic for the third time in the last 5 years, looking to add to the franchise's first title that was won in 2017. For the Braves, the wait has been much longer, 22 years to win the pennant and make it back to this point. The series will also be a boon for Atlanta after Major League Baseball hastily moved this year's All-Star game from the Georgia capital to Colorado due to the uproar over the Peach State's new election law. Find all today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and follow us on all of your favorite podcast platforms. Just search Washington Times. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.